Okay. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining me on this beautiful day. Leo, good to have you, my friend. Good morning. Good afternoon. We're in the afternoon right now. Jimmy, Mr. Jimmy. Hello, sir. Hey, Stephen. Michael. All right. Good to have everybody here. It's been a while. Hey there, Will. So yeah, as usual, I'm here to answer questions. Um, This is a great Sunday because after this, I'm gonna go watch my 49er play. Yeah, let's address that real quick. You know, they beat my Cowboys last week, or was it last week? Anyway, yeah, they beat the Cowboys, so it was a pretty sad day for me. But I'm happy that they moved to the next chapter, and so yeah, this week today they're gonna play it later. So I'm very excited about that. It's gonna be a great game. Hello, guys. Philip, Andre, just wanted to say thank you for the review you gave on Amazon for the Spider Farmer Grow Tent. Oh, yes, I actually did the review of the Spider Farmer Grow Tent. I'm still using that, Andre, if you're curious. It is actually one of the better grow tents that I've used over the years. And the reason I mentioned the zipper is because the zipper is the most important part of the tent for me. Because, every day I go in, I unzip, and then I rezip, unzip, rezip. Oh man, there's other tents out there that the zipper keep failing on me, and it was just the most annoying thing ever. Especially if you grow in a really cold garage, you really want to close the tent in the evening to keep the heat inside and all that stuff. So having a good zipper and a quality tent is very important. You do pay a little bit more, but it is worth the cost. So I hope you like the tent that you have. But yes, I do like mine very much. Let's see. Is it Shufin first? Live for you. Thank you for joining me. It's good to have you here. Arsenic, I just saw Arsenic. Hey, my friend, good to have you back. Yeah, so guys, it's been a while since I did a live, probably 2 weeks or something. Yeah, because I just got COVID. I just got over it, so I hope you all don't get it. It's not fun, but just be safe. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for joining me. We have 33 people, and I was outside in the garden earlier working on my pears, guys. I'm right now. I love working with pear trees. So I'm in the garden working with my pear trees. I'm doing grafting, trimming, and what else am I doing? I'm doing all kinds of stuff with the pears. So I'm so excited this year because I can't wait to film the pear series and show it to you guys. Pears, um, fruit trees are my second, passion. I love peppers, of course, and fruit trees is another one that I really love. Persimmons, Asian pears, apples. I'm growing kumquats and a few of the citrus. So I'm very excited. Yeah, Jimmy, pears are awesome. It goes really well with apples, and I mean not apple, but peppers as well. So every season I have, like towards the end of the summer, I get so many pears, and like we eat pears like every single day, and the kids just love it. So they go out there and they pick some pears, go in, and we eat it together. It's amazing. Thank you, Jimmy. I'm glad to be back, and I'm fine. It's it's a little bit rough for a few days, but yeah, I'm glad I'm better now. Still have like a little cough, let's see. Tav, hello from Idaho. Mass Valley, greeting from Sweden. Sweden, hello there. Wow, we have people from all over the place. I'm very happy to have you guys here. Right now it's Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. for us. So wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Brian, I have pears, peaches, and plums. Oh, those are nice stuff. Brian, if you have not grown an Asian pear tree or a persimmon tree, Asian persimmon, the fuyu, add it to your list. Those things are amazing. I guarantee it. If you grow it, you're gonna love it. Persimmons are one of those fruit trees that are just so easy to care for. They produce so much, and also you can eat them. When they're ripe, but you can also wait until they really, really ripen up, and they even taste like like brown sugar. It's just crazy. And in places like I think in China and Japan, they grow a certain type of persimmons, and they'll wait until the fruits actually dry, sun dry on the tree, and they would collect it. And it tastes just like candies. So it's one of the most favorite fruits in Asia. So Drew, good to have you, Drew. Thanks for being here with me on a Sunday. Did I grow? What is that? Sequa? I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, Andre. Yes, I do. The Velcro is over. After a while, it just goes bad. The Velcro, and sometimes it's very difficult to like kind of rip it apart and stuff. So I love a tent with a zipper. A nice quality zipper is just so important. You wouldn't know it until you'd have to go in and out of the tent like all the time. Like every single day. Sometimes I open the tent 3 or 4 times a day just to peek in and look at my plants. So yeah, it is very, very important. Chinese melons. I grow a bunch of different types of Chinese melons. I also grow Japanese melons. So yeah, I'm growing all kinds of stuff. It's every year I try to add something new. Dean, thank you very much. I'm doing very well right now. Yes, please smash the thumbs up. It does help the algorithm of YouTube a little bit. Sunil, good to have you back, my friend. Do I have any money saving tips for beginner garden? Yes. Over the years, I did. Over time, you start to come up with new ways to save money. So one of the ways that I saved a lot of money is I don't buy soil from in bags anymore, because those can be very expensive. Because you buy a bag like $3 or $4. Sometimes those are the cheap ones, and then the more expensive one they're like $6 $7 $8, and sometimes you got to buy like a whole bunch of them. So what I do is if you have a truck, because I usually borrow my brother's truck, or if you don't have a truck, you can get it delivered, but the delivery fees are very expensive. You buy a soil by the cubic yard, and then you go pick it up. It's like $40 for like a whole cubic yard of soil. It's very cheap. And then when you bring it home, you mix it up. You mix it with some of your own soil, and you create like a really nice quality soil for very inexpensive. So that's one way that I save money over the years. And you actually save a lot of money by buying soil in bulk. Another way to save money for me is, save your own seeds. Grow like 3 or 4 of a certain varieties that you love, like lettuce. I have lettuce seeds every single year. I have arugula seeds every single year. I have radishes seeds every single year. So those are the things that I no longer have to buy. Just grow your variety, your favorite variety, and then at the end of the season, just let one of the plant go to seed, and just one plant, one lettuce plant can give you enough seeds for the next 10 years, guaranteed. One radish plant can give you seeds for the next 5 years. I have enough radish seeds to grow every single year. and to grow microgreen just to waste some of the seeds because I have so many. So that's another way to save, to save some money by saving your own seeds. And I think the third way to save money is just don't buy every type of vegetable seed that you think looks interesting, or you read about it and you think is interesting. Grow the varieties that you love, that you guarantee that you're going to use it. And also another way is to be a member of like certain social media groups, like on Facebooks and stuff. Like for example, pepper lovers. You can, like if you're looking for certain exotic pepper seeds, instead of spending $5 to $10 to buy it, you can probably trade it and swap. Yes, there you go, shoe fins. And you just swap those seeds, and you can save a ton of money because seeds, sometimes it's good to buy seeds. The reason it's good to buy seeds is because the seeds company actually have, go through lengths to make sure that the variety that you're buying is actually the variety you're buying. They separate the seeds. They make sure they don't cross pollinate, because that's what they make their money on. So buying seed, that's an advantage. You're always going to get, not always, sorry, you're going to get the variety that you're actually, looking at. Whereas when you swap seeds, or you trade seeds, they may not do a good job segregating the plants, and you may have cross pollination that you didn't know about. So that it's just a risk. Yes, isolation is key. That's right, King. So yeah, that is one of the risks when you trade seeds and stuff like that. Do persimmons grow in the Pacific Northwest? Yes, they absolutely do, especially the domestic variety. The variety that are here, they can withstand temperature down to like -10 degrees. Um, my persimmons, every year, no issues. Sometimes we drop down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit for like a few days, but I'm in zone 8A, so my persimmons, no problem. But I think the persimmons can live down to freezing temperature for like a while, and they should be fine. So yes, you can grow it in the Pacific Northwest easily, especially pears, Asian pears. They can live down to -10 degrees, no problem. So yes. You want to get a good dehydrator. Michael, I use the Nesco dehydrator, and I've had it for over maybe 4 years now. It's a very simple machine. You just plug it in, and it runs, and you turn to the options that you need, like vegetable jerky, fruit snacks and stuff like that. It's a very simple system to use, and I I think the Nesco brand is great because, from my personal experience, I've had it for 4 years, and it's still working like the day I bought it. So it's great. Jimmy, thank you, my friend. Thanks for the donation. Let's see, what else do I, let's see, let me read. Oh yeah, King. Another way to save money, since we're on the same subject, is to grow varieties that are perennial to your area. For example, in my area, I grow like sorrel, which come back year after year after year. Every year I have sorrel because they always come back. I grow sage, which is an herb. I love sage because I use it in my tea. My sage comes back every single year, regardless of how cold the temperature here is in Texas. It would survive, covered with snow, and it will come back. My rosemary comes back every single year. See, those are some of the things that, they always going to come back, and so you don't have to buy them again, or you don't have to buy them ever, because they're always going to produce vegetable for you to use, or herb for you to use. So that's another reason. And just get something that are perennial for your area. If you live further south, most varieties can live through the winter. But like if you live on 8A, and and so on, and up to 7, 6, 5, there's certain varieties that can't survive. So you have to check. Shufin, will pepper plants still root from clipping if they've started to bud already? Yes, they will. So what you do is, if you're going to root the cuttings, just cut off the flowerings, cut off all of the flowers, and then you know they will. Always make sure to do multiple cuttings because one cutting may not work. So you have to rely on multiple cuttings to give you some kind of success. Noah, thank you. I'm glad that you can make it to the stream. Usually I do the live stream on the weekend from 1 to 3 p.m. because that's when the kids are sleeping. So usually it's Saturday sometimes and Sunday sometimes. So it's just a toss up for me. Whenever I'm free, I just jump on. Stuart, how long do my lemon starburst take to germinate? And as your white tie, 9 to 10 days. Yes, 7 to 10 days usually is what most varieties, regardless of the pepper variety. If you get seeds that are fresh meaning you harvested from last season, or seeds that are under 6 months old, or even under a year old, usually they will start from 7 to 10 days. Seeds that are older um, could take up to 2 weeks. I've had seeds that started coming out of the soil after a whole month. That's 4 weeks in the soil. They finally start to show up. Like I'll have like 3 or 4 seeds, and then one of the seedling grew like really big, and then finally another seedling will sprout. And I mean, it depends. It's the age of the seeds. But again, if you harvest it from last season, it should take 7 to 10 days at the most. Let's see, the three best tasting pepper in my opinion. Okay, so there's different categories. When you ask that question, it's very difficult, but I'll give you my top three. My top three, the number one is the lemon starburst because I love my lemon starburst. It's beautiful, it tastes great, and it's just a very fun pepper to grow. Two is the white tie. I cannot go without the white tie. I grow it every year. I grow it all through the year. I grow it inside. I grow it outside. I have a few sitting over there right now. Let me show you. You see? So I grow them all the time, and that's the second one. And the third one, let's see. This is a tough one. I might have to pick like a super hot. Um, I would grow the Jay's Peach Ghost Scorpion. That is one of my top variety of super hots because it tastes great. It's beautiful. It's huge, and it's good for powder. It's good for making hot sauce. It's good for eating raw. It's good on your pizza. It's good inside spaghetti. So it's like, you know, so those are the three that I would grow. That I can think of at the top of my head right now. As far as sweet peppers go, I have a few favorite sweet peppers. Like the Brazilian starfish is always my top favorite sweet peppers. Um, I love the biquinhos. If you guys have ever grown biquinhos, I love those. Let's see, Sugar Rush are great because they're so easy to grow. They're fantastic pepper. They're very tough. They produce like crazy, and they taste pretty good too. You sometimes you can just eat them raw. They do have a kick, but a good enough kick that you can actually manage and eat and enjoy the pepper. The flesh is very thick, so you have a lot of juice and liquid, so you can make hot sauce and use it as a base. So great stuff. Will, where can someone get white Thai seeds? I mean, if you join the pepper lovers community, everyone there is growing it, so you can trade there. Ma'am, I have been watching a bunch of your videos from your channel. I wonder where you are located. I am located in Zone 8A, Texas. That's my temperature. Yes, it could be very dry in the summer, very hot. So yes, Texas in Zone 8A. I'm very close to Arlington. I'm about 45 minutes away from Arlington. Uh, Aaron, yes, I do remember that variety. That is an awesome variety. I still have seeds for those. Last year I started it, and then somehow I grew it. It got kind of big, and then the cold temperature came and killed it, and I never started over. But this year I may add that to my list, and you reminded me. The Jay's Peach Goes crossed with a chocolate goes. Man, I love that variety. It's so cool. It grows amazing. It's like a little canopy, and underneath there's a whole bunch of pods. And on top, you really can't see anything. But if you lift the plant up, there's like hundreds of pods at the bottom. It's a really cool variety, Aaron. Good to have you here, Aaron. How's California? Beautiful weather, huh? Let's see. Kendra, you enjoy listening while you're in the kitchen. That's great. You know, my wife always makes fun of me, but every time I'm in the kitchen doing something, like I'm making things, I'm cooking things, or I'm washing dishes or whatever, I always look on my phone and I have to play something. It's either like a documentary or like it's a review of something or like some gardening stuff. And yeah, I always have to watch something. It just makes you forget that you're doing things, and it's really fun when I'm watching something and working. Steve, you are having a hard time finding all of the different varieties of the Kingstar varieties. You know what? If you go to okay, if you go to this website here, I added a bunch of my varieties on there, and I think I need to do more. That is the website that we use. I put all of my information on there about the varieties that I grow to the very details with all the pictures and stuff like that. So you can find more about it if you go there. I think I need to get it updated because I've added so many varieties already that I haven't added to those lists. So when I have time, I'm going to add more to that. Sunil, yes, I love watching videos of or podcast or just stuff when I'm working. Yeah, it's awesome. Even when out jogging, I always tune to some kind of podcast. It makes you forget that you're actually working. Steve, you know that it is a wiki because people can become a member of the KCD Garden, and you can add your own information. Like you have something that you're growing that have not been added to the list or to the website. You can add it. Just become a member and add it, and that information gets released to other people, and then they read about it. We have a chat function on there. They can reach out to you and all that stuff. So it's neat. I think I need to be more active in the KCD Garden homepage because it's actually a very powerful website. You can add information, but you can also edit other people's information. You can add pictures to posts that people have already made. You can also chat, which is a very powerful feature. You can chat to each other. So like for example, if you post something that is really interesting to other people, they can go to your homepage and read about it and know that you wrote it, and then they can message you and you guys can talk about it. So it's a really cool website. I need to spend more time on there. Let's see. What pepper you think will be trending after the Sugar Rush Stripey? The Sugar Rush Stripe is a very beautiful pepper. What is going to be trending next? Um, you know, I I'm really digging the variety called the Primo Teli, not the Tally, but the Primo Teli. That is a really neat pepper to grow. It has the most ridiculous tails ever. Whoever created, good great job. I think that may be the next trending thing. It's a great variety. It's really cool, and it's just very unique, and it looks so dangerous. If you haven't seen it, you should look it up. The Primo Taili, very cool pepper. I'm not. I forgot who made it. Let's see. My chat is lagging a little bit, so I hope I didn't miss any of the questions you guys asked. Craig, Arizona. I'm from Arizona and own my white type of produce through the heat of summer. What other varieties would produce in high heat? Let's see. Sugar Rush would do that. The Sugar Rush will grow in any condition, guys. It's one of the most hardy varieties that I've ever grown. A lot of the Thai varieties, if you live in the Arizona desert, Pekins or like Pekins or any of those native to the, can grow really well. Any Thai varieties really usually do really well. The super hots are a little bit picky because they can't stand the Arizona desert heat. Even Texas, man, I have issues growing some of the super hot. They just drop all the flowers until towards the end of the year, and then they will start to hold on because the temperature drop. But yeah, sometimes if you grow in the Arizona desert, you can time it. You can grow your plants, but just let it drop all of the flowers till it gets towards the end of the year where the temperatures start to drop. That's when they start to hang on to their fruits. But you can also assist it by giving it some shade cloth or move it around. So grow it in a container. That way you can move it around and it's not suffering in the heat. Yeah, as Dustin said, shade cloths will help a lot. Yes, definitely, Aaron. Lack of moisture does help does really help. I mean, help reduce the chances of fruiting. Because super hots, if you notice the leaves, they're very plump and they're very big. They're very wrinkly because there's a lot of water in it. They're used to growing in the tropic where there's a lot of moisture and the temperature didn't get too crazy. So that's the reason. In the heat of the desert and where the moisture is low, it can dry out the leaves, and you can tell the leaves will get burned sometimes. Jim, good to have you, my friend. It's been a very long time. Yes. Nam, you're in Toronto. Could I apply your indoor method for lettuce and herbs without greenhouse like you do? If for lettuce, lettuce can grow in pretty cool condition. Um, I would say they grow best between uh, 65 degrees to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, that is the optimal temperature, but they can grow lower than that. I have lettuce grown in my garage where the temperature is constantly around, like 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 55 degrees Fahrenheit. They can grow. So if you can mimic, that condition, if it gets too cold, it grows really slow. And another thing is because it's hydroponic, if the temperature is 65 degrees, the water temperature is a little bit cooler. So the cooler temperature in the water does slow down the growth of your plants. Herbs, herbs is a little bit tough when you have such cold conditions because they most of the herbs that I grow, like basil and stuff like that, they can't handle those cold weather. So I just wait until it gets warmer. So if you're gonna grow herbs in Toronto, like grow it in like an arrow garden or something. It'll grow like mad. It grow like crazy. You can have like herbs like the whole entire winter. Because when you leave it inside, your inside your house is usually between 70 to something 73 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is perfect for growing herbs. So yeah, invest in a little machine, and you're probably gonna have herbs like forever. You can even grow lettuce in it too, like two lettuce. I have an Aerogarin Bounty, and when I grow lettuce, I mean lettuce, I love romaine, and they do get very big. And so I usually grow like two lettuce romaine, but because you only harvest a few leaves at a time, you can have like lettuce for a long time. Cheers, everybody! Happy Sunday! Thanks for joining me. Those that are watching football and me at the same time, thank you. Um, speaking of the arrow garden, let me show you my arrow garden so that you can see an example of what you can actually grow. So let me pick a plant for you. All right, guys, here we are. You see, the beautiful thing about the arrow garden is portable. You can move it anywhere you want. You see these bundles of peppers right here? Look at that. This is a very small plant. It's not very big, but look at all the fruits that you can get. You see? Isn't that amazing? So yeah, these units like this is a lot of fun. I'm not sponsored by them. I just love it because I use it so much, and I've grown like lettuce and tomatoes and basically everything you can think of in this system. And look, guys, here's the second plant. Look at all of these flowers, guys. I showed it in pictures, and people like they can't believe the amount of flowers that you get on this. You see that? It's ridiculous. It's like, I mean, I would say there's like 1,000 flowers on here. You see that? They're slowly starting to become peppers. Isn't that crazy? Look at all those flowers, guys. It's ridiculous. Look the bottom. You see? And then the top. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Just a ridiculous amount of flowers. Okay, and here is my favorite. This is the white tie. You see that? It's just a very small plant. So look at this. I've been eating peppers like every day from these guys. I pick like two at a time, and I just never run out. It's just, isn't that amazing? It's just a very small system. This is the MTN grow stations that Christopher developed, and yeah, it's just ridiculous. Just very easy to grow peppers in these. So I'll just leave it right here. But yeah, you see the those are the things that you can actually do in your indoor grow space. It's a lot of fun too because for one, you can grow the entire year, any time of the year, and it 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 doesn't take very long. So 3 to 4 months, and you get peppers like this. They do grow faster than outside, and because you're not affected by conditions, so you can always guarantee the peppers will grow well because if you keep your area clean and pest free, it's gonna grow like crazy, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm always thinking of new varieties I want to grow in it because if I say, for example, I grow a plant outside, and I was like, man, I love this plant. I wish I grow more, or I wish I have some more peppers. And then I'll wait until the seeds are ready. I grow it inside, and then I'll have it for the winter time. So right now it's January 30th, and I mean I've been eating peppers. I mean every day. So yeah, when you grow it inside, you just have peppers all the time, and fresh peppers, in the middle of the winter time is like the best thing. And another thing is that when you grow the peppers in the hydroponic unit, it is a lot spicier, guys. People, I don't know if many people believe me or not, but I've tested out so many times. I grow two same variety, one in hydroponic and one in soil. The one in hydroponic is like 2 times hotter. So my wife is used to eating white Thai, that I grow in the garden organically. And so she is used to the heat of the peppers. And then, I started giving her these peppers from hydroponic, the white Thai, and she's like, "Why is it so hot? She can't eat many of these. It's just too spicy." So yeah, the hydroponic peppers are like twice as hot. If you guys have experience, share that with me. But as far as I know, the hydroponic peppers are the spicier. And let's see. Oh wait, let me put this back before I knock it over. But here, guys, you can see it one more time. Okay. And then another thing that I always love to do is I grow them in small spaces like this, and if have fun with this. I always tell people, have a grow light. You can use your air garden as grow light if you want to, or just build your own grow light and have a plant grown like this. You see how small this is, but look how many peppers you can get. Look at that. And it's very simple. You see, it's just a net cup, and it's sitting right here because the water bottle has a little groove. So it keeps the net pot kind of like floating right here. And then in this area is the reservoir. And then that's where you feed the hydroponic solutions. And then they just grow. So I started this a while back. This one here, I just started. This is my newest project right here. So in very little time, this is gonna have peppers, you see? So yeah, do small peppers projects. It's a lot of fun. You're gonna learn a lot about hydroponic just growing it this way right here, because you can test with your nutrients. You can use different mixture, and then you can see how your plants react. And that's the reason over the years I kind of improve on my hydroponic skills, because I use these methods to test my mixture. So, I've used the Flora series, which is 3 parts, and then you can mix the different parts in different ratios, and then you can feed your plant and see how it reacts. You can note it down, have a database, and study it like a scientist. So, and then, you can note down which mixture is the plant's favorite, and then you can apply it towards the other, and then you get like amazing peppers that grow really well, produce a ton, and look healthy. So, yeah. Let's see. Did I miss any questions from you guys? Oh yeah, Mo. I remember from the seeds giveaway from a while back. Yes, I remember that name. Yeah, I hope you grew the seeds that you won. Dustin, that's good to know. Dustin said nitrates are preferred with pepper plants, and that makes it spicier. Outdoor, your soil, they say, might have more ammonium nitrates. Interesting. Yeah, that's good to know. I mean, I'm learning from people all the time, so any kind of information I get, I love to test it out. Lee, when do you need to cut the roots in hydroponic system? No, you don't need to cut the roots. The only time I would ever cut roots in my hydroponic system is when the root are rotting. If you have root rot, that's the only time you should cut the roots, because the roots are basically the source for your plant's growth. The more roots you get, the better the plants are going to grow. The better it can take up nutrients, and you will notice that anytime your pepper has a strong root system, you will notice that it will look healthy, it will grow fast, and produce very well. So never cut the roots unless you have to. Like you have to, as in like there's root rot. But other than that, don't cut it. Um, Another time I would cut the roots is like when I trim the pepper plants from outside to take inside. I'll cut the plant all the way back, then I trim the roots a little bit to keep it small so that I can bring it inside. That would fit in small spaces. Those are the only times I would cut the roots. Oh man, Mo, you just mentioned the Banda Majak. Banda Majak is probably one of my favorite peppers too. I love the Banda Majak, the yellow one. I think there's a Banda Majak red as well, but the yellow one is my favorite. Aaron, peppers are hotter, but the shapes are always rounder. You know what, Aaron? I've noticed that over the years when the plants are stressed out, they produce really weird shapes. And so initially, when I first started doing hydroponic, I grow peppers. They never grow true to the shapes. They always grow much smaller, and I mean the taste is still didn't don't change much, but I noticed that over the years it's because of stress. There's some kind of stress that would cause your roots to have issues, and so they produce smaller fruits, rounder fruit, and it's never true to the shape. And then, after a while, I started to notice that, and it's because of the different mixtures that I use. And then, so I started to experience with different mixture, different ratios, and stuff like that. And now I got it to, even in small containers like this, it would grow true to the shape, exactly at it as the way it should look like. So if your plants are growing rounder shapes, smaller pods that just don't look like what it should, it's usually because there's some kind of stress that's happening. Either the root is having lockouts, or there's your mixture is out of balance, or maybe you need to change it more often, or add calcium, CalMag. Over the years, sometimes when I run out of CalMag, I stop using it, and then my fruits are just weird looking. So I started to test, and at certain stage, when you add a little bit of CalMag, it really helps the plant produce really nice fruits and also keep the flower very well too. Mo, yes, the time that you won those Bonamajak seeds, yes, the channel was very small. I'm glad you're still around. That means we're doing something right to have you come back after all these years. Uh, Dustin, I did go to Zest Fest a few years ago before the pandemic. And when I went to that Zest Fest, I actually met Johnny Scoville in person. And I bought uh, the very first hot sauce line from Johnny Scoville. He signed it for me and everything. We took pictures together and all that stuff. So yes, Zest Fest is a very fun place. Um, you know, I wish all this would be over so we'd be back to normal. I'm definitely going to all those Zest Fest and Chili Fest or all that stuff again. Do peppers and tomatoes need the same pH? Usually, my pH is basically it's very standard with most plants because what happens is at certain pH level, the plant is able to absorb all of the nutrients that it needs from the water. And so at certain temperature, I mean, sorry, not a certain pH level, the ability to take up certain, nutrients may be inhibited. Like if it's too acidic, it can't take up all of the nutrients it needs and it becomes, really lacking. So yeah, if you look up the pH chart, it usually gives you a magic number, like around, I think around 6 is okay for most plants. Not all plants. I say most plants. Easiest pepper to start growing indoors. Start with a Thai variety. They're very forgiving. They're easy, and you can start them indoor, and they will grow fine. The super hots are usually harder, so it takes a little bit more work, but you can still do it. But if you're asking for beginning, I would start with like any kind of annual. They're very easy. All right, Duana, you just ordered the Banda Majaks. You're gonna be very happy with that variety. It's a very tropical tasting variety with like a perfect amount of heat. I do like it a lot. You know what? I need to grow that again. It's been a few years since I've grown it, so I need to add it back onto my grow list. Because there's always so many different varieties. So every season, I always try to add something new, and then you keep adding something new, and then you forget to go back to the list of the other favorites. And so occasionally, I'll go back and pick out a variety that I love from the past, and I'll grow it again. The best pepper to dry. Um, for me, I love dried ghost peppers. I don't like it raw, so I never eat the ghost pepper raw. I always dry them, and I think once when you dry the ghost pepper, it brings up different flavor and aroma and it also reduces the floralness from the pepper, and it just makes it so much better. So, but the thing is, I always mix my peppers when I dry them. I don't just use one variety. I always mix them. So, like for example, I dry my lemon starburst, right? It's great by itself, but sometimes when you dry it, you need something else on top of it. So I dry additionally the hornets, and then I mix them together, and man, it's just the perfect heat and flavor and aroma. I don't know what it is. It's just beautiful. So yeah, lemon starburst and the Sriracha Hornets are like a perfect combination for like heat, flavor, aroma and all that stuff. So yeah, always dry different ones. Don't mix them all together. Just, like if you have multiple trays, like say you have a Thai peppers batch put on top, and then you have like a jalapenos or anything put on the bottom, and then you can slowly mix them together to create your own blend. And it usually comes out really nice. Allison, good to have you, Allison. Let's see, Colt, in your opinion, what is your favorite pepper in regards to look and not necessarily not taste? Looks, okay. I say, as far as looks go, the Reapers are just beautiful peppers. They taste okay. I don't think they taste that great. I think it's the reason is because they're so hot that when you eat them, you kind of like forget how good they taste. But the Reapers are so beautiful to me. The Primos are very beautiful. Um, the lemon starburst, of course, that's it has looks and it has flavor all together. Let's see. I love the looks of the Death Spiral. If you guys ever grown the Death Spiral before, I think that's a very pretty variety of pepper. It don't taste that great, but it's super hot and it looks really nice. The Sugar Rush Stripey is a very beautiful pepper. You know what? I've had it a few times. People send them to me. I just haven't had a chance to grow them because to me they don't taste better than the regular Sugar Rush. So that's the reason why I didn't have interest in growing them. They do look very nice. But if I were to grow the Sugar Rush Stripe or the regular Sugar Rush, I'll just grow the regular Sugar Rush. It just tastes better. Yeah, you're right, Aaron. A lot of the super hots are very, very floral. I think the Carolina Reapers is very floral. The Red Ghost is super floral, and I can't handle that when I eat it. So I always dry them. If you like a super hot that don't have the floralness, I would go with the Seven Pot Yellow. Seven Pot Yellows are great. It has all the heat, all the kick without the floral flavor. Let's see what else. Scotch bonnets are great. I love Scotch bonnets. They're just very nice and sweet. Has very great tropical flavor. Cheers, guys. Mike, wonder if I can use the same hydroponic solution for peppers and tomatoes at pH 5.8. I think 5.8, 5.9, all the way up to 6 is like, those are perfect numbers. When I mix my nutrients, I always aim for 5.9. That is the perfect number for me. Everything I grow, herbs, watermelons, cantaloupes, peppers, tomatoes, I always aim for the exact same 5.9. 6 is fine. 5.8 is great. Yeah, they're around that range is great. Are shishito peppers easy to grow in hydroponic? Yes, they're very easy to grow in hydroponic. I've But the thing here is, Mike, if you grow shishito peppers in hydroponic, you're not gonna get the mild flavor. You're gonna get really hot flavor. They tend to be much hotter in hydroponic. So speaking of that, I've grown shishito peppers before in hydroponic, and you would expect it to be like very mild with or mild to zero heat. But sometimes, man, when you grow it in hydroponic, all of them are hot. So the shishito you grow might be hot shishitos. Allison, you're just gonna grow the boring varieties, do you say? Those are cool. Cayennes are great. Thai peppers, of course, is always a must-have. But yes, add the lemon starburst, and it'll change your taste profile. Charles, oh my goodness. Charles, where have you been, my friend? It's been forever since we've spoken. Did you ever get those seeds that I sent you, Charles? I think I sent you a bunch. All right, sweet Cheetos. Yeah, Peter has a few varieties that he crossed that I grew before. Uh, what was it? He crossed a Stavros with the Christmas. I grew that. And man, that thing is super productive. But I have not grown the sweet Ceto, so that's pretty cool. All right, Charles, I hope you continue to do your grow series because in the past people love it because you had such a great grow area. John, do I ever go with ppm or EC number when measuring hydroponic nutrients? To be honest, John, I never ever measure ppm or EC. So in the beginning, when I had the measure, the pH measure, and then it has the ppm, the EC, and then when that unit stopped working, from there on, it's been like 6 7 years. I have never measured EC since then. Um, Usually, when you buy hydroponic solutions, they'll give you a mix instructions. Usually, I'll go with that, or I'll go with something that I'm used to. Like I use a lot of the master blends in the past, and when it worked well, I just use the same mixture. And then now I use the Dyna Grow series. I use 5 milliliter per gallon, and that's it. I don't check EC. I even stopped checking pH. Um, People ask, why do I stop checking pH? It's because my meter broke and I never check it again after that. Is that a good idea? Is probably not a good idea. You always should check your pH because pH does affect how your plants grow. And as I mentioned, the pH chart at certain pH level, it allows your plants to take up nutrients the best. So if it's too acidic, it's going to inhibit your plants from taking up some of the nutrients, and then it becomes deficient and all that. So yes, pH is great. I just don't check it because I don't have a pH meter anymore, and I kind of I think my water is around 7.8 to 8.2 pH, and when I add 5 milliliter of Dynagrow to the water, it drops it to the right, like right the perfect number. So that's the reason why I don't check pH. But yeah, so I don't want to mislead you guys. pH is good to check. DJ, there's a great debate right here. Colorado chilies or New Mexico chili? That's man, that's like the if I choose one, I'll lose the other. But I don't know. I grow them all. I love chilies, so usually when they ask what's the better of the two, I don't know. Oh, Aaron, I sent you those seeds recently, the one that grow in clusters, and Yeah, those are the ones that I showed in the Aero Garden earlier. Uh, the thing, Aaron, is they're very early in the hybridized stage. So sometimes you're gonna get one that is like sweet, and sometimes you're gonna get one that is hot. So hopefully, of all the seeds that I sent you, one of them will be hot and one of them will be sweet. It's gonna be a toss up. What are the hardest seeds to germinate for me? Let's see. Oh, the hardest seeds to germinate. Um, what is that? I think it's one of those peppers that a friend sent me. It starts with the F. Fluxium. I can't even pronounce that pepper. It's supposed to be these little tiny wild pepper. And when I got those seeds, I tried to sprout them. They never came up. And I mean, and then I asked for more. They just didn't come up at all. Um, Brazilian starfish is easy, my friend. If yours didn't sprout, it's probably because you got really old seeds. My Brazilian starfish, I drop it in the water and they just come right up like five days. Yes, that's it right there, Dean. The flex. Oh man, I can't even pronounce that word. Yeah, so I tried to germinate those variety, Dean, and it never came up. it's, it's a very tough variety to sprout. I mean, I guess it could be because of me. I have no experience with them. DJ, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Good to have you here. So guys, if you're trying to germinate seeds, and if they don't come up, try multiple ways. Like if you drop them in the soil and they don't come up, sometimes when you drop them in the soil and you water too much, the soil becomes so saturated with water, it can rot your seeds. So if that method don't work, and because you don't know how to control how much water to have, put it in a damp paper towel and then put it inside a Ziploc bag and just place it in a warm area and they will come up, they will grow. So if you try one way, it doesn't work, try multiple ways. Paper towel method works really well sometimes. For me, I just drop it in soil because I'm lazy, of course. I just want to drop it in the soil, and if it comes up, it comes up. And you know what? Here, I'll show you. I just started these. You see it? Look at that. I have 4 right now. Just drop the seeds in there. And I have a dome, which is like a Ziploc bag I put on top so that the moisture doesn't escape. That way you don't have to water often. And so look at that. I got 4 little seedlings here for my Sapporo black can. Look at that. I'm trying the pepper in the can. I saw people do that, and so I'm gonna grow this in a can this year. But I've done small peppers forever, so I think it'd be fun because everyone's doing it, so I might as well join them. Look at this, guys. Aaron, this is the variety that I sent you, Aaron. This is the Starling. You see it? And this happened to be the sweet one. So let me see. Let me pull one off. Yeah, very sweet. Doesn't have any heat in it. It actually tastes pretty good. I wouldn't do it live if that's if it's hot. We have to end like the stream early. But yeah, see these two are the same, guys. Can you believe that? I harvested seeds last season. They are the exact same. But one is grow down and one grows up. You see that? And then this one here is hot. This one here is sweet. So Aaron, if you grow it and it comes up and it becomes sweet, let me know, because it may be sweet, it may be hot. You don't know, because the parent plant that I took these seeds from, they're hot. For some reason, this guy came out sweet. So yeah, so there's a lot of fun when you crossbreed peppers, because you never know what you're gonna get from it. Daydreamer, I just got back from hydroponic stuff in Fort Worth. I'm stoked, stocked up on the Flora series, and I have peppers growing. All right, so you went to a hydroponic. Is it like a show or something? Oh, hydroponic store. Yes. Uh, Texas has a pretty good selections of hydroponic stores. Like I used to go to the, what is it, the Lone Star Hydroponic store. Um, when you go there, usually they it's used for the medicinal growers. Back then, when I used to go, they're like, "Hey, what are you growing?" And I told them I'm growing like vegetables and peppers and stuff like that. They kind of laugh at me a little bit. It's funny. All right, guys, let's see. I'm checking on my kids. Usually around this time is when they start to wake up, but they're still sleeping, so I'll spend a few more minutes talking. Let's see, Mike. If peppers grow ton of flowers but no fruit, is there a fix? I've shaken it, etc., and all that stuff, and the flowers still fall off. Are you growing inside? Describe the condition for me. Are you growing it inside? Are you growing it outside? Are you growing it in hydroponic, or are you growing it in soil? Because there's so many different reasons for flowers to drop. So the main reason that people experience when they grow in soil is overwatering. Overwatering will make your plants drop a lot of flowers. It will make it sick, because the plants has to also breathe, at the root level. Fluctuation in temperature, like this time of the year, the temperature fluctuate very, very much. Like sometimes, like today, we're like what, in the 50, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And then next week, yeah, right now it's 70 degrees. It's crazy. And next week is going to be 15 degrees. You see, that huge gap in the fluctuation, the huge jump, is going to cause your plants to stress, and it would drop flowers. Pollination is not the issue, because pepper plants, they self-pollinate. So you have a flower, all you do is like flick it, the pollen will drop, and it will pollinate itself. So usually pollination is not the issue. The issue is having the plants keep the flower. And when you grow it inside, it could be because your hydroponic nutrients is imbalanced. Uh, what that means is, if you don't change your nutrients often, it creates like imbalanced solutions. So your plant is stressing out at the root level. So when that happens, even though you have a whole bunch of flowers, they're not going to keep it. They're going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. So another reason is at when the plants are blooming, you kind of have to switch to the bloom formula if you notice your plants are dropping flowers. So what that means is you reduce the amount of nitrogen, because nitrogen boosts your growth, right? And so the plants will if you keep feeding nitrogen, it's gonna try to grow and it would drop the flowers to grow. So, you know, reduce the amount of nitrogen and boost the bloom series. Like, for example, I use the 795 for vegetative, which is the grow series. And then once they start to bloom, I switch to the bloom and I stop using the grow. You can use them together if you want to, but that's usually what the case. You just stop using the grow and you switch over to the bloom. And if that's still an issue, just give it a little bit of cow mag along with the bloom and the magic will happen. So yeah, it depends on what you're doing, but fluctuation of temperature, imbalance, nutrients, water too much, and sometimes water too little. But too much is usually the key that causes it. All right, guys. So I'm gonna have to get going now. My baby's about to wake up. So thank you for joining me on a Sunday, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Bye.